What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our college football channel. We continue with our 2023 schedule preview and projected record series. Rutgers is up next, a team that went 4-8 last year. A really disappointing year. I thought they might be a little bit better. Record-wise, I wasn't too surprised, but thought that this team might be a little bit more competitive in some of their games, but injuries and things kind of got to them, and they just weren't very good, and I don't expect them to be a whole lot better in 2023. Let's see what their record could be up against this schedule. They'll open up with Northwestern on September 2nd at home. Then they play Temple on the 9th, Virginia Tech on the 16th. So 3 home games to start off the season. Then they go back into conference play against Michigan on September 23rd on the road. That'll be a very tough one, obviously. Wagner is next on September 30th, and then it'll be all Big Ten games after that. Wisconsin on October the 7th on the road, Michigan State at home on the 14th. Then they play Indiana on the road on the 21st. They do get a bye week after that, so a late bye week. The last Saturday of October is when their bye week comes. But then they have a tough stretch after that. Ohio State on the 4th, on the road at Iowa, on the road at Penn State, and then Maryland at home. So a really, really brutal stretch there to close out the season. It's a tough schedule for a team like Rutgers, obviously. You got Virginia Tech, Temple. You do get Wagner in the non-conference. Big Ten teams don't normally play FCS opponents, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But yeah, Virginia Tech, not a very good team last year, so that's not a bad draw, and it's at home. You don't have to go deal with that road environment. So pretty easy non-conference schedule. And then you look at who they play out of the West. Northwestern is good. That's good news. But you got road games against Wisconsin and Iowa, maybe the 2 toughest places to play, and 2 of the better teams in the West. So that's a tough draw if you look at those 2 games. But again, good news, they get to play Northwestern, although I don't even know who will be favored in that game. Let's get to the projection. If it's a 50-50 game, we're going to keep it in the white. Under 20, over 80. Those are games where I think the spread will be 20 or more points. 20-29, 71-80. Those are games where I think the spread will be double digits. And then 30-39, 61-70. Those are games where I think the spread will be around a touchdown. 6, 7, 8 points, kind of in that range. So we'll start with Wagner. Should be an easy win. I would expect them to take care of business there. They should be favored by 20 or more. But then on the flip side, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Iowa, Penn State, I expect them to be double-digit underdogs in these games. And even, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, they might be 20-plus point underdogs in those games, which would actually put those in the red. But either way, it's going to be counted as a loss with this projection. And again, I say this every video. I go conservative with these projections. I don't like to make definitive statements. We'll do predictions after spring. Okay, so how about games where they might be favored? Temple, I think they'll be favored in that game by about a touchdown. So you have 2 games, Temple and Wagner. Those are going to be games where I think they'll be favored by at least a touchdown. Wagner more, obviously. And then Michigan State, Maryland, I think they're going to be about a touchdown underdog in both of those games. They get them at home, so if things go right for them, perhaps they could maybe pull off a win, but they're definitely going to be underdogs against both Michigan State and Maryland, and that leaves Northwestern, Virginia Tech, and Indiana. Those are your 50-50 games that really could go either way. Rutgers, Northwestern, that's really a toss-up. Virginia Tech, that's really a toss-up. Indiana maybe would favor the Hoosiers because they're at home, but I think that's a toss-up as well. So you have 3 of those games, and then you have Wagner and Temple. If they were able to win all 5 of those, that still would not put them going to a bowl game. They would have to pull off a win against Michigan State or Maryland, or pull off a huge upset somewhere just to get to 6-6. And the odds would say that they're not going to win all these 50-50 games anyways. So let's get to the projection. What does it look like? It looks like the same thing as last season. 4-8 for Rutgers. That is the projection. Again, a disappointing season last year, and you can expect something pretty similar this year. Again, the odds would say that they're going to get the 2 wins, and then maybe get 2 out of the 50-50 games, or win 1 of those, and then pull off an upset somewhere, however you want to get to it. 4-8, though, that's the projection for Rutgers in 2023.